The Warriors' start in the 2021-2022 NBA season has been nothing short of spectacular. While many fans around were shocked at how well they performed versus the New Orleans Pelicans during one of the team's first matches of the season, Steph Curry was less shocked. Apparently, everything is going according to plan for the Warriors, and they just might be the team of the season. Let's take a look. Golden State Warriors versus New Orleans Pelicans. During the game on November 6 against the Pelicans, the Warriors managed to absolutely dominate their opponents throughout the game. Jordan Poole was the leading point scorer of the game, scoring 26 points in total. Steph Curry wasn't too far behind Poole, scoring 19 against the Pelicans. Gary Payton II also had an incredible performance during the game, scoring 17 points, which shouldn't be surprising considering he's the son of NBA Hall of Famer Gary Payton I. Overall, the Warriors beat the Pelicans 126-85 and improved their record during the season to 7 wins and 1 loss. When asked about the team's incredible early wins, Steph Curry said that he was not surprised by their performance at all. He stated that all the members of the Golden State Warriors understand basketball, and that the way the Warriors are opening up games to new kinds of playing styles makes it no surprise to him that they performed so well early on. The Warriors after that. Since they improved their record to 7-1 after the game against the Pelicans, the Warriors, as expected, continued to improve their overall record this season. Their next match was against the Rockets, and that one ended up being a little too close for comfort, but they ended up defeating the Rockets 120-107. This was followed by comfortable victories against the Hawks, the Timberwolves, and the Bulls, improving their record this season to 11-1. It seemed like the Hawks were almost unstoppable, and their next matchup was against the Charlotte Hornets. Warriors versus Hornets. Warriors fans were waiting for their favorite team to extend their winning streak, which now stood at 7 consecutive wins during their match against the Charlotte Hornets on November 15th. The match was neck and neck. It really seemed like anyone could have won this match. By the end of the match, the Hornets ended up beating the Warriors 106-102. Ending their winning streak. This was a missed opportunity for the Warriors, who looked like they could have won the game even with just 12 seconds left on the timer. But thanks to a foul by the Warriors and an incredible showing by Jalen McDaniels of the Hornets towards the end of the match, the Hornets managed to extend their 2-point lead and took the match home. The Warriors were now 11-2 for the season, and cracks were starting to show on their performance as well. Perhaps it was a little bit of overconfidence, but the full picture wouldn't be clear until the next few games, which were now highly anticipated. Warriors since the defeat. Despite the shock of actually losing a match this time, the defeat against the Hornets wasn't that big of a setback for the Warriors. It was only their second loss of the whole season, and the next few games they played after that just proved that they were still as good as ever before. 2 days after their second loss, the Warriors were ready to face off against the Brooklyn Nets. Steph Curry ended up dominating in that match, scoring 37 points and having one of his most successful matches of the season. As for the Nets, they weren't having a good time at all, with Durant hitting a season low with his performance. The Warriors had a conclusive victory, scoring 117 against 99. After that, the Warriors have been unstoppable so far. They beat the Cavaliers 104-89, obliterating them during the match. The next matchup was up against the Detroit Pistons, the one match to come that the Warriors fans have dreaded. Warriors versus Pistons. The Golden State Warriors versus the Detroit Pistons took place on November 19th, 2021. With the Warriors seeming almost unstoppable, and the Pistons posing an immediate threat to the Warriors with players like Cade Cunningham and Saddiq Bey, this matchup was probably one of the most anticipated ones of the season. And what a match it was! The Warriors were at a disadvantage here, as their star player, Steph Curry, along with other key players like Draymond Green, Otto Porter, and Andre Iguodala were rested. Clearly disappointing for most Warrior fans who bought tickets hoping to see their favorite players. But the Warriors have a lot more to the team than just star players. The Warriors took the early lead in this match, scoring 17 against 4 within the first 6 minutes. However, by the end of the first quarter, the Pistons managed to slightly close that gap and bring the total score to 26-23, trailing the Warriors by just 3 points. Thanks to Frank Jackson's hot shooting, the Pistons were able to bring the score to parity around the middle of the match, with each team having 34 points. Jordan Poole would then take control of the game. He managed to single-handedly bring the Warriors' score up to 56, while the Pistons trailed behind with 53 points. It was still anyone's game, but it was the Warriors' game to lose. By the beginning of the fourth and final quarter, the Warriors were pretty much dominating the Pistons, leading the scoreboard with 86 points ahead of the Pistons' 70. At this point, the Pistons coach decided to change things up a bit to make sure the game doesn't go completely out of hand, inserting a new ball lineup in the aftermath of Hayes' injury. This changeup ended up working in the Pistons' favor, and they were able to close the gap by just 6 points with 2 minutes and 30 seconds remaining on the clock, with the Warriors leading 104-94. When there was 1 minute and 45 seconds remaining, Cade Cunningham had 2 free shots thanks to locking down Jordan Poole and drawing foul. He aced both free hits, getting 2 additional points and being within 4 points of the competition. Eventually, the Warriors would score an additional point, while the Pistons would score 2 additional points. At the end of the match, the score was 105-102 in favor of the Warriors. What this match means for the Warriors. Overall, this match has ensured that the Warriors are still, by far, the best performing team in the NBA this season. Pretty much no other team even comes close. The Warriors' record this season now stands at 14 wins and 2 losses. Their closest competitor, the Brooklyn Nets, have just 12 wins and 5 losses. We've already seen how a matchup between the Warriors and the Nets would go. The Warriors have gotten to a point where it's almost impossible to beat them. Considering the fact that a team like the Detroit Pistons was not able to beat the Warriors despite their most important players being rested is a testament to how much this team has improved and how it's pretty much one of the best NBA teams in the country. However, anything can happen in a season. This spell might not last a very long time, and it's not like the Warriors are undefeated this season. They've been beaten by the likes of the Memphis Grizzlies and the Charlotte Hornets in this season. Even some of their wins have been far too close for comfort. Specifically, their wins against the Clippers, which was by 2 points, and the Pistons, which was by 3. The Warriors are set to face off against the Toronto Raptors in their next match. Perhaps the Warriors will begin a new winning streak when Steph Curry returns to the team. They've won their past 3 games in a row, and a win against Toronto would be their 4th. This isn't really unprecedented, to say the least. It pales in comparison to the world record set by the LA Lakers during the 1971-1972 season, in which they won 33 games in a row, not losing a single match over 2 months. With the Warriors pretty much towering off over almost every single NBA team out there, there might be a chance for them to beat that record. There hasn't been a team this dominating in the NBA for a long time. Steph Curry's injury. As we mentioned, Steph Curry was rested for the Warriors match against the Pistons. This wasn't because he was tired, but because he was actually injured. During the game against the Brooklyn Nets, Steph Curry suffered a rather serious hip injury. His incredible performance during that game surely came at a cost. According to Curry, the injury happened when he took a charge against Harden during the match, saying it messed him up. This isn't the first time an injury has kept Steph Curry off the court, but thankfully, this time he should be back after some rest. It doesn't seem like he's in need of any surgery, although the Warriors haven't confirmed whether he will be in the match against the Raptors or not. That's a wrap for the Golden State Warriors' early winning. Do you think the team will be able to keep up this performance in the future?